Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully designed our form and that is all that our form input field. Okay. Now in this video I want to add some of the attribute in our all that input field. Like they have the different type of attribute as a text attribute, email attribute, tail attribute. Okay, so step by step I want to add every attribute, and with this we'll start to add our all that validation. You can see there is a spelling mistake. So here that will be as a validator. Okay, TOR. So I make it as a validator. Great. And now first of all, that is one of the name. Okay, for the name I want to add another attribute. Here if you want to add that attribute, that will be the type. Okay, type, that means that is one of the text type, right? Because I only want to write down one of the name, so for the reasons that will be as a text type. Great. And for the email, there is also another attribute as a email type, so I make it as a type, and for the email that will be as a email. So our this input field attribute will be as email. Automatically that will be checked that is email or not. Okay, so that is our attribute as a email. And for the phone number I want to add another type. Our type for the phone, that will be as a tele. Okay, that means a tail. There is a tail. I want to add this attribute as a tail. So now that will be check that is phone number or not. Here if you want to pass any text, then that will be display some of the validation. And then there is a website URL. For the website I want to use another one, that is our type. Our type will be for the website, that is one of the URL. Okay, that is our URL attribute, because it will be, because that is one of the website URL. So here you have to put one of the valid URL. So for the reasons with this type, it will be get this validation. And for the password, here I don't want to show all that password right now. If you go and if you write down anything, you can see it's now display in here. So now that password field now should be display. For the reasons here, there is another attribute as a password attribute. I want to use it as a type. Okay, type will be as a password. I use that as a password. Great. And for the confirm password, that will be another password field. For the reasons here, I also want to add the type will be as a password. I simply added this password. Great. And now I want to add another attribute. Here I want to add another attribute in our input area, that will be as a name attribute. Okay, I make it as a name. So name attribute actually very much helpful. With this we will get that specific this input field all that value. Okay friend, I repeat it again. With this name attribute, we will able to get our this input field all that value. And also that is very much helpful, like when you want to get this specific this input data, then you can before we use that as a get element by ID or the query selector, right? Here you don't need to use it. Only into the query selector we'll select our this ID, and then we'll get that things by this name. Here we don't need to add multiple query selector for get a specific this input value data. Okay, so that is very much helpful. For the reasons here, right now I want to add another attribute as a name, and for the name I want to use it as a name. Okay, I name it name. Whatever the name actually choose right now, I want to make it as a name. Great. And also I want to use that name attribute for our email, so that will be as a name. And name I make it as a for this field as an email. Okay, I make it as an email, and then that will be another one, that is a phone. I make it as another name attribute will be as a phone. Okay, I name it as a phone, and then that will be as a website. I want to make this name I make it as a website. Okay, that is a website. And then another one as a password. So for the password I want to put that name I make it as a password. That will be as a password. And the confirm password, here I want to put another attribute name as a confirm password. Okay, confirm password. So I name that as a confirm password. Great. Now I want to add another attribute. I want to add another attribute for the placeholder. Placeholder means it will be give you to your user some of the hints, what type of input field and what exactly that example for this input field. Like I show you here, I want to add another one as a placeholder. Okay, and into this placeholder, if you make it as a your name, I make it as a your name. Okay, your name. So now that should be display as a your name in our input field area. If you now click as a save all, now if you go click as a refresh, now you can see it's now display as your name. So in particular, that means here it's pass some of the hints to the user. That means full name means here you have to add that your name. Okay, and also I want to do the same things for our email address, the phone number. They have some of the example. I want to add it. Like if you want to add, that will be another placeholder. I want to name it as a placeholder. And for the email, I want to use it as an example. Okay, example @gmail.com or mail.com, whatever you choose. So user have to put this type of one of the valid email. Okay, and then for the phone, here I want to use another placeholder. Okay, another placeholder. Like as I want to add some of the validation with different type of one of the format. For the phone number, user have to be input this type of one of the input field. Like I make it as a 11 digit. For the first time, that will be as a 5 digit, and then a dash, and then the 6 digit. Okay, so that will be our format for adding that phone number. With this we'll actually add some of the validation. Great. And for the website, I want to use another placeholder. Okay, another placeholder I want to use for the website as a Google. Okay, this type of one of the things. I copy it and then I want to paste it. So that will be our example here. User have to be add that HTTP and then our total domain name. Great. And for the password, okay, for the password I want to do, so that will be another placeholder. So that is a placeholder. And for the password I want to do, a user must have to be input that 8 character. Okay, so for the reasons here I put some of the hints as a create a password, that will be minimum. Okay, I want to make it as a minimum 8 character. 8 character. That means user must have to be put that 8 characters password, and then there is our another one as a confirm password. Here I want to add another placeholder. Okay, there is another placeholder, and for the confirm password I want to do, that will be our same as password, so I make it as a confirm password. Okay, confirm password. So now that will be enough. And now if you click as a save all, and now that all that hints should be displayed in here. Now click as a refresh. Yes, you can see there is a name, example email address. When you write down anything, that will be gone. Okay, and then there is a phone number, the website URL, the password, and create password minimum 8 characters. So that is one of the hints, and also there is a confirm password. Great. Now I want to add another attribute for the required. Every field I want to make it as a required. Okay, that means if this field is empty, then that will be not executed. If you want to add this attribute in our input field area, here I want to add that another attribute as a required. Okay, required, you can see. So that is a required. When you write down as a required, then that means that is actually required. If you click as a save all, and now if you go, and now if you refresh this page, and if you make it as empty, click as a register. Now you can see it's now showing one of the message as a default message, please fill out of this field. So that is default one. Laterally we'll actually add a lot of the things in here. That is here for the phone number, we'll add some of the regular expression. With this regular expression, we'll actually add some of the validation for the website. Like first time I want to make every field as a required. That is our email field, that is our phone field, and then that is our website, and then there is a password. I make it as a required, and then confirm password also I want to make it as a required. And now if you click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, now our all that field is required. If you now click, you can see it's perfectly get our first one. I put some of the name, click as a register. You can see it's also get some of the another validation, and also if that is one of the type I have already added on the email tab, you can see it's now show one of the message as a please include @ That means here we have to add this type of one of the things, because that will be look like as a one of the email address. And then the phone number, you can see there's also get that required for the phone number. Here I want to add some of the phone number in here. And now there's a website. So for the website, if you add that website, I have already added some of the hints. And if you make it as a like I remove that HTTP. Now if you click the register, now you can see it's also display as a please enter a URL. So that is by default get this validation. Later we'll actually customize all that validation, but that is all the default one. Okay, and then that will be as a password, and you can see there is a password, and also it's getting our previous one, but I copy it and then I paste it, click the register. Now you can see there's this field is also as a required. Great, that means here all that field here you have to fill up, and after that then that will you are able to register this user. Okay, so now in our next video, step by step, we'll add all that our custom validation. I hope you like it very much. So right now in this video, I have added some of the attribute as a type, name, placeholder, and then required. Okay friend, I hope every part is very much clear to you. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.